Hi, my name is Vu. I am a Vietnamese American. I was raised in Vietnam, but I came over to the US when I was very small, around 8. My Vietnamese speaking wise is good, but my reading and writing is very limited. I remember when I was little, I was able to read, but then as I grow older, I lost most of it, most of the reading and writing skill, and only keep the speaking. I have a very big fascination with what we call wuxia or kung fu drama in Chinese. I used to watch that when I was probably 10. First time I watched it, I was so amazed, and I was just a big fan of that. I started watching a lot of kung fu movie, especially kung fu drama that was translated into Vietnamese. And it was it was amazing to me. It was like a comic book type of story, where it's always a hero trying to save the land, the kingdom, or the people. And I was always amazed by that. When I was trying to understand some of these stories better, I started reading some of them, and my Vietnamese is not good. So I was reading them in English, and then I was reading, and then it stopped translating. It was very frustrating because I was really into the story. Then I started reading other story, and just because it was more like a fan type of translation that was not professional, so it sometimes just stopped translating. That is when I start thinking about maybe trying to Google and try to find some of these stories in Vietnamese, start reading them. When I first started reading Vietnamese, it's very funny because my grammar is very limited, so I didn't understand a lot of the word in the story. However, I know the content of the story, so I kind of just understand the content of paragraph rather than detail of the letter. For some word, I have to go and just copy and paste to Google and do a Google Translate. All the time, I just understand the word around it and just try to get the meaning behind it because I understand the story. It's very frustrating because I still don't know how to write in Vietnamese. I can only read in Vietnamese, but my writing I don't really know because in Vietnamese we have 5 different tones. So a word can have different meaning based on what the tone can be. And I never really have the proper education to learn the correct way to pronounce. But I memorized a lot of words, so as the more I read, my Vietnamese got better, and I can pretty much read and understand most of the stuff I'm reading now. And it's a long journey, but it's a very enjoyable one. In the last 10 years, as I read more, my Vietnamese is really good. I can actually read a newspaper in Vietnamese and pretty much understand everything in the newspaper. So I guess for me, to be able to read Vietnamese it's not because there's any educational purpose to this. It's more like a hobby. I enjoy wuxia, the kung fu novel, and I just really enjoy it to the extent that I actually have to learn the language for me to enjoy it better. I guess if I was to give advice and say, hey, if you want to learn something, patience is probably the key thing to do. So it's the more vocabulary and just patience and just understanding. The good thing about it is because I understand the speaking Vietnamese, so I don't have trouble trying to guess what word that means. But like I said, I'm really into the wuxia, and I really enjoy the Chinese culture. Me and my wife, we went to China a couple years ago. I really enjoy it. I think it was very, very fascinating. But the problem is, we were running into is that we didn't know the language, so we didn't get the full experience of that. So I always tell my wife, we should go back and just really enjoy and do a long-term vacation there and just try to learn Chinese. And I just start opening YouTube and it's trying to learn Easy Chinese 101. And we start learning a couple words a day, and now it's got into a habit where we just every day we would spend not a lot of time, 15-20 minutes to either review what we learned or try to learn a word or two. And it's becoming to like a hobby where I can enjoy with my wife and my kids, and It's pretty much very fun actually. My goal is next time, you know, when someone speaks to me in Chinese, I can speak back, or like if I can order Chinese food in a Chinese restaurant, which is authentic Chinese restaurant, not like a Panda Express Chinese restaurant. So I guess my wife, she think I was very successful trying to learn how to read Vietnamese, and but I saw, you know, it's about motivation. I have a motivation of trying to learn because there's a need for me, there's a desire for me to do this, and you know, that's why I was able to do it. I mean, everyone's different, but if you want to do it and you have no motivation behind it, it's going to be very tough. But if you have motivation behind it, if you learn it, and you know, even if you learn a limited version of it, it's still very good because you know, you have a purpose for doing that. So I mean, that's pretty much my advice.
What other type of movie you watch?
I also watch a lot of what they call K-drama or Korean drama.
So did you think you're gonna study Korean?
No, definitely no.